Give it up for year 3 of the pandemic! Yeah, that's what I get for celebrating year 3. You get red lights. So the last time I was at TFF, it was 2020. That was when the whole pandemic started going into full swing, and you know, like everyone else, you know, we just kind of just shrugged, and they were just all like, you know what, yeah, you know, this pandemic is not going to last. Why? You know, everyone just kind of brushed it off. They're just gonna like, oh, COVID's not gonna last on and on and on and all that stuff. But unfortunately, here we are, 2022. Omicron is kicking all of our asses and shit, and the world is basically still on fire, and we can't get a lot of things because of all the supply shortages that we are getting. Thanks, COVID and Lopez! We're 3 years into this bullshit, and I can imagine all of us just want this whole entire damn thing to end once and for all. But thanks to all these variants popping around and everything, and not a lot of people getting their vaccine, that's not entirely going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately. And now it's gotten to the point, like, so, you know, I got both shots and I'm boosted as well, and it's like everyone's to the point is just like, well, fuck, might as well just fucking live with it. But it's really fucked up because a lot of people are dying from this shit, and you know, there's just so much that you can do as the little man to do your part to help slow the spread of this horrific disease. And the last I checked, from just skimming around on Wikipedia, this shit is just about close to taking the crown away from the ongoing AIDS and HIV pandemic, and that paints a picture. That's really absolutely fucked up how terrible this pandemic is. But just looking at how statistics are, how many people are catching this dreaded disease, it sounds just about right. But correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, I'm getting all this shit from Wikipedia, and it's definitely saying that it is currently right now like the 5th deadliest pandemic in human history, and that's really fucked up. So, dude, a little grim little tale I want to tell you guys is, so this was at TFF 2020, and this was before COVID-19 was showing her ugly face all over the United States. I think at the time, I believe there was like what, like about maybe 10, 16 cases. I'm not too sure at the time when TFF was going on in 2020, but there wasn't a lot, but it was still enough to raise some red flags. But if memory serves me right, not even a month later after that, it was officially declared by the WHO to be a pandemic. And it's just like, well, it was no surprise that I realized, like, yeah, this is definitely gonna be a pandemic that we're gonna have to face. The 2 other pandemics that I briefly remember was the swine flu outbreak between 2009 and 2010. I don't remember much about the SARS outbreak back in 2003, but that one just like went and just gone. Like, I had like no memory about SARS when it was a thing, like almost 20 years ago. And now here we are, 20 years later, we're living through another goddamn plague. And this has to be the most fucked up memory serving to me that I've lived through, that we all lived through. Here I am just kicking it with the roommates in the hotel room, and you know, we were all just bullshitting, shooting the shit and whatnot, and the subject somehow changes to the pandemic, and you know, we kind of start talking about you know, how like in movies and whatnot, how the US government handles pandemics and other scenarios and all that stuff like perfectly well. Like, yeah, we got this, you know, we got this strategic plan to stop this, stop that, blah blah blah. And so here's the grim but kind of somewhat, you know, I don't know if it's actually kind of funny, but it's just, it's definitely dark humor at this point, because obviously from what I said that night at TFF, aged like goddamn spoiled milk and cheese, man. It was, whew, man, did not age very well. So here I am, you know, standing in the center, well, not the center, but okay, so TFS was held at the Hyatt right by the Reunion Tower, and one of the windows was facing, for those, you know, who have memories of staying at the Hyatt during TFF during that year. So one of the rooms would be facing the bridge that has like arches on them. So I was standing right by that window with a fucking Modelo right in my hand, and I was just, you know, talking to everyone, and you know, everyone kind of had a little bit of some doomsday views at the beginning of the pandemic, and they're saying like, oh no, you know, like, what if this happens, what if that happens, and all this and that. And so my dumbass thought it was fucking brilliant to be optimistic about this whole entire thing that's about to brew up and everything up absolutely 3 years later. So I look at everyone, guys, every single pandemic that we have lived through in our lifetimes have only lasted a year, not even a year, if not months. And so I panned to everyone in the whole entire room, dead in their eyes, and I quote, "You all not." Besides, what could absolutely, I seriously said that to everyone in that whole entire room, and to this very day, a lot of my friends and mutuals hold that against me. And even if you're just watching this video, this is your first time watching on my channel, well, you can go ahead and hold it against me as well. So pretty much I somewhat damned the whole world and gave it COVID. And it's kind of ironically funny how those words just did not age well whatsoever. And just looking back at it, it's just like, god damn, man, those were some poor choice words to say at the beginning of a worldwide pandemic. So yeah, I guess that's my bad, but it's a little grim, little humorous con story that just aged like absolute cottage cheese. And yeah, but like I said earlier, we're on this together. You know, get your vaccines and all that stuff, practice all the precautions and all that stuff. Oh, and make sure you get boosted too. That's pretty much it for this one, guys. Until next time, leave a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the stuff, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.